What's up, guys? So I got another Kendra G reaction. So I hope you guys like it, and let's get started.
What's your name, baby?
I go by Kay.
Kay, where you calling me from?
I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Las Vegas. How old are you?
I will be 40 in a couple days.
Oh, when's your birthday?
September.
I've said it before. I'm gonna say it again, especially for women. But I guess you could apply a little bit to men, but not quite. But for a woman to be 40, 40 plus, and still on the dating scene. When it comes to dating for women, it should be easy. Men approach you, and lots of men usually approach women. All right, or let's say this: even if you go on a dating app, men are constantly trying to talk to you. So, if you are a woman of, some kind of substance, some kind of value, you're worth it. There should be a decent man that would, you know, try to wife you up or try to, get a long-term relationship from you. But if you are still in the dating market when you're 40 and plus, right? Even a little bit in the 30s, that has to say something that one, you never, you could probably don't prioritize relationships, you don't care about it. So why now when you're older, more jaded, more I don't know, traumatized by the world, right? When you're more, it's just like as women get, they get older, they don't necessarily get more feminine, more peaceful, more. They don't gain qualities as you get older that will make you more attractive to men. You actually lose them. Okay, one, you definitely lose your beauty. Doesn't necessarily, for most, doesn't necessarily stay. There's really no benefit for women to wait until their later years to get into relationship. So if she didn't care about relationships, then there's no point in carrying it now. Two, you can be probably hard to deal with, right? Probably don't bring man peace, arguing, masculine, you name it, right? Just someone that's hard to deal with. Probably three, a little bit coincide with the hard to deal with, but high maintenance. You have high standards, and not a single man that you met have met your standards. So more than likely, your standards are impossible to meet for the person that you are. You don't qualify for the standards that you have. I probably could think of more, but in general, those are kind of the basis of. You gotta think, a woman in her 40s and plus, 40s plus, it's a red flag that she's still in the dating market. Because, like I said, dating for women should be astronomically easier. You have a wider pool of men. It's just that you ignore them. For men, the only pool of dating options for men is whoever the man goes up to, right? Whoever the man messages, right? And not just that, whoever, actually even responds to him, right? That even gives him the time of day. So not just the people that he goes up to, like, not just half that, probably only a quarter, maybe like 10% of that, if that, would even give him the time of day, if that. So, yeah, dating is astronomically harder for men. So it's just a different avenue.
16.
Okay, September 15th. September 15th. That's still Virgo, right?
Virgo, yes.
Okay, Virgo. Kay, Las Vegas, 40 Virgo. What you do for a living, boo?
I am unemployed.
Why you not working? What's going on?
I had a corporate job and I was laid off by, it's just a lot of politics, a lot of racism. So, yeah.
Are you suing?
Now I'm afraid to even go back to corporate America. I just want to do something different, but I haven't decided.
Well, did you get laid off because of racism?
Pretty much.
Are you gonna sue?
I'm thinking about it.
Okay, okay. All right. So Kay, Las Vegas, 40, Virgo, currently unemployed. Do you have any kids?
No kids.
No kids. All right, baby girl, let's get into it. Do you think you're in a space to date with like not having a job right now?
I am. I prefer it that way because I want a man that'll take me at my lowest and help build me up, and that'll build my loyalty towards him.
Okay. Um. All right, let's get into.
So, a man would take you at your lowest. Where's the guarantee that you would take him at his lowest? It's just, it's funny. So, how about this? Would you be fine with going out with a broke man? Going out with a man that lives in his mom's basement? Going out with a man that has, I don't know, going through a custody battle? Going with a man that's divorced and pretty much almost penniless? This is the thing, right? If you have an expectation of a man to meet you at your lowest, right? Which I guess I can see the logic in it, right? And he's there with you at your lowest. How would a man know that you would be there at his lowest? Right? So, would it be fine if she attracts broke men? I doubt that.
Wait, let's get into it. What kind of man you looking for?
Just kind of goes into what I was just saying. A loyal provider.
A loyal provider. So you want to provide for you right now that you're not working?
Well, even in a relationship, every time I'm usually in a relationship, I typically don't work, but like I'm a helper. If he has a business, I'm there to help him with his.
So, she's there to take. A provider. So, she wouldn't necessarily take a man at his lowest. Like he's broke, destitute, no money, going couch to couch or living in his mom's basement, right? Where have equal standing. Where he's broke, he's not making money. She wouldn't go with that kind of man. So, what low state? I mean, like, how would a man know that you would stick with him at his lowest? Because you want a provider. That's your thing. That's you're broke. You're jobless, so you want a provider. Sounds like, and she's been doing it often. But she's been doing it often, and not a single one of those relationships have lasted through the test of time. What's that saying? It kind of says a lot that, that she probably doesn't fit that type of relationship, or she's just hard to deal with. She gets those relationships and can't even keep them.
His business, whatever he needs, that's usually my place. Kind of like an assistant.
Does he pay all the bills?
Typically, yeah. But most of the men I encounter, they're manly men, so they prefer it that way.
So those men that you dated, why did it never go to something? Why are you not
different reasons? Like the last guy I was with, he had older kids, and I just felt like at a certain point he was picking his kids over me, which is okay to a certain extent. But these were grown adults that had multiple baby daddies, and they were always coming to us for money, and it just created an issue. Others, we've just kind of grown apart.
Okay. What are your...
So, these men that are the providers for her, what is their guarantee that she wouldn't grow apart from you as well? This is why men do focus on a woman's past. It is very important. Because of things like this, right? So, what's to tell me that if I get with you, if I provide for you, I wouldn't get the same treatment, you growing apart from me? So, it's just ridiculous.
Deal breakers besides not being a provider?
Deal breakers. I have a lot of deal breakers. Nymphomaniacs, for people that are not aware, that's men that like to have sex too much. I think there's a lot to life more than sex, so let's not indulge in that. Let's go out, enjoy ourselves, enjoy each other in other aspects. Pathological liars. There are some men, they will just lie for no reason. It's like, what are you lying about that for? Smokers. If you smoke weed, cigarettes, Swiss sweets, that's a no. But if you smoke a nice cigar, we can do that on occasion. What else? Men with multiple baby mamas, that's a no. I'm okay with men with kids, but just no multiple baby mamas. What else? Oh, like ghetto men that have like all the gold teeth, sag their pants. I can't do it. Like I'm from the hood, but I've evolved a little bit, so I just can't go back to that kind of lifestyle. Um, what else? Oh, 50-50 men. Absolutely not. I feel like if you want to go 50-50, you're looking more so for a roommate, not for a partner, not for a woman. The world isn't 50-50. I always say women have periods, women have babies, so life isn't fair, life isn't 50-50.
Okay. What's that noise in the background?
Oh, that's my dryer. Let me turn it off 1 second.
Okay.
It's funny for a woman to think that life isn't fair, and yet she wants to expect the way she wants it, right? She wants things the way she wants it. A man that doesn't need sex so much, a man that pays for her, a man that focuses on her, do things with her, you know. And what does she do? Just help him? Help him with shit? It is ridiculous. That. What can you do? I mean, you can't give him kids. So what? You're his cooker and cleaner, and sex once in a while. It's ridiculous that for a woman to think that, for a woman to say that life isn't fair, and she expects the thing she expects is ridiculous. Life isn't fair. It won't go out the way you want it. You won't get the shit you want. It's just not. You're at 40. What kind of provider is really looking for you?
Do you anticipate going back to the workforce?
I mean, from a monetary stance, I need some money, but from the stress and the pressure, I'm not looking forward to it, but I am actively applying to jobs. Um, as someone about to turn 40, I don't really see myself working for the man any longer, so I'm just trying to figure it out.
So how are you currently paying your bills?
Oh, everybody's watching. So I had some savings, family,
Okay.
you get by.
Okay. Now, okay, I want you to respond to this because this is going to be a statement. You had a long list of deal breakers. What would you say to the person that would say you're currently unemployed, and that's a lot of deal breakers for a woman who can't even technically take care of herself at this moment?
Well, just because I'm unemployed, it doesn't make me lesser of a person, and it doesn't tell me that I need to settle. So those
Okay. Okay.
are things that I still need and I still require. Just because I'm unemployed, I'm not supposed to be like, oh yeah, now I'm okay with smokers. I'm okay with ghetto dudes. No, I absolutely will not lessen my standard.
I've said before, perfect. Don't I think women that's past the wall, hit the wall, should never settle. I think they should actually add more requirements, right? Add more standards. Make it higher. Make the bare minimum even higher. Because at the stage in your life where you're so hard to deal with now, you require so much, you only want Mr. Perfect. So don't. I believe going through all these men that she's been through with in the past has not been a good thing for the men. So really, that money that they're wasting on her, they can focus that on themselves, build themselves, and provide for someone that will actually last through the test of time. So again, Women that hit the wall, perfect. Do not lower your standards, even an inch. I say add to your standards. Make it higher. Make it harder. Because what's the point? What's the point? I mean, like, you're at the age now where if you don't get no one, then whatever. What's the difference, right? I mean, you're 40. You didn't need someone, you didn't need anyone so bad before. So why do you need someone now? I'll say just stick to it. Stick with it. Stick it out. Stay with the high standards. And even if you can't get no one, be fine. Stay single, die low.
So,
well, what about maybe, this is why I asked you in the beginning, maybe date after you get yourself together? Is that an option?
that's fine. But I'm still open to dating as I am now, and I would appreciate that person even more.
Would you date an unemployed man?
Again, because I look for the man to be the provider. As a woman, I wouldn't.
So you want a man to accept something that you wouldn't accept?
Right, right. And everybody has their preferences and what they accept and what they don't. But as a woman, I wouldn't date an unemployed man because how is he to provide?
Well, some
What is he
men
providing
that are able to provide want women that can provide for themselves. A lot of men that like to provide for women, they do it as an honor because they know she's out here and she can hold herself down. This is conversations that I've heard at times that men don't mind providing, but they also want to be your daddy. And if they feel like,
I would say the biggest, my personal thought, my personal opinion, my personal thought, what are you providing for? Men, I personally believe, right? I mean, Kendra said whatever she says, right? But in my view, men do not want to feel used. I do not know a man that loves to feel used. He wants to feel appreciated. That's definitely true. So that's why men like to provide. Men like to take care. Men like to, be the one paying for stuff, being the one doing things, because they like to be appreciated. But when there's a certain time, right? There's a certain amount where if he's giving more than he's receiving, then he's feeling used. Man, that let's say this: if she's working, right? He's just, taking her on dinner dates, taking her out movies, doing date stuff. Okay, that's fine. But now he's paying her bills, paying her groceries, taking her on dates as well, giving her money for whatever, her nails, her grocery, all these things. What is he getting in return? She just said she hopes a man that doesn't want so much sex. So what does that mean? Once in a blue moon? Once in a while? So really, what does the man get? It's funny that women always think that, okay, I want a man that provides for me and I'm going to help him out. If a man has gone to a point in his life that he can provide for you, what does he really need your help for? Because let's say this, without you in his life to help him, would he not still be financially stable to provide for someone else? Usually men that is the provider, he lives a lifestyle where he's able to provide. Yeah, he will take your help for little things, but whether you help him or not, it doesn't change much. It doesn't like, I don't know, change his business from a $1 million company to a $1 billion company. No, it don't. It doesn't level up nothing. Because men that's at that status of being able to at least provide for someone, what you do is very minuscule. So let's say the things that she would do. Cooking, cleaning, and sex. Because she can't give him kids. So, really, is that worth a man providing for? Because he can pay for that himself. Also, look at this. More than likely, a woman that's 40, going with a man that's probably around 40 himself, if he's still single, he doesn't necessarily need a woman to cook and clean for him. He would like it, but he doesn't need it because he's been living his life just fine. In this situation, she needs someone to provide for her. She's jobless.
You can't take care of yourself. Why is it now my responsibility to take care of you?
Well, those are the ones I'm not looking for. I'm looking for a man. I'm looking for a man that's open. He understands where I am. He understands my capabilities and my abilities. He knows that if he has a business, I'm willing to contribute and help him run it. So I have a lot of attributes that would be beneficial. So
all right, let's continue. Thank you for having that dialogue. So, does the guy have to look a certain way?
I'm 5'5". I just ask that he's taller than me and has good hygiene, clean nails. After you use the restroom, please wash your hands. Just the basics. Besides that, nothing.
Okay. What about money? Now we know he has to be a provider. Does he have to make a certain amount?
In today's economy, of course, with inflation, living on the West Coast, any coast really, I say to live a comfortable life, you need at least 6 figures and at least 100,000 before taxes, which equates to about maybe 80,000 afterwards.
Okay, I'm just curious. Have you ever dated a man that has all your requirements?
All of them. No smoking. Yeah, I have.
Why are you not with that man?
So again, this was a while ago for different reasons.
What's a while ago?
It could be a couple of years. Because my last relationship.
A couple of years is 2 years. Is it more than 2 years?
More than 2 years. My last relationship was 4 years ago.
So 4 years ago, you dated a man that had all your requirements, salary included.
The money, no smoking. Yeah, pretty much. I met him here in Vegas. That was the guy with the older kids. And it was just, we just couldn't get along from the family aspect, but everything else was good.
Okay, fair enough. All right, let's do the Kendra.
So, you met supposedly the perfect man, but yet you couldn't compromise. See, this is the thing, right? This is the thing. She said herself, life isn't fair. Okay? But here's a woman that expects the life isn't fair for the men's side. This is the hypocrisy, the delusion of women. This is what I'm talking about, right? This is the issue. I have people in my comment section that say, why am I talking about, black women? Or why am I talking about women? Why am I, all this stuff, all these talking points that they have. But this is the issue that the world, the dating market is facing. Black men are facing, any kind of man that would date this type of women. Women like this, they find the man that supposedly fit their standards. Okay? But they will find other things, other qualities about this man, other things about this man that will pretty much turn them off towards this man. Why is that saying? Because they always looking for the perfect man, the perfect situation, the perfect outcome. They want perfection. If this woman listened to her own, advice or her own ideology that life isn't fair, she would know that although this man he fits so many of my categories, so many of my standards, right? So many of my preferences. Okay, the only bad part is the children. I'll live with it. I'll deal with it. This is shit like that, right? It's about compromises. It's about making things work. But no. So what does that say about this woman? If she meets you, whoever this, perfect man would be, that perfect for her, if you turn out to be not as perfect as she wants you to be, she will leave you. Right? She will leave you. When you are trying your best to be your best, and you found a woman that maybe you love her, right? Maybe you found something. Maybe you come to love her, and then she leaves you. How's that a good thing for men? To get their heart broken, right? put in that effort, because men are the ones who always put in so much effort and when it comes to dating. So they put all that effort in, do all this money, do all this talking, all this action, only to end up brokenhearted. Why? To a woman that needed you to be perfect, but then turned out that you're not perfect enough for her. Here's a woman that does not show loyalty. She doesn't show compromise. You know, she doesn't show that she would be with you through the hard times. But like I said, right, you have to see these red flags. This is why I make these videos, right? Because of women like this. Women that men deal with. Because this woman, she's not a I don't even think she's the minority. I don't think that she's, rare. I think a lot of women are like this. At 40, I've been watching a lot of Kendra G stuff, right? I've made a lot of videos already. Women still have these kind of mentality, these standards, these high expectations from men. But what are these men getting? This is what I'm saying.
Cam, honey.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have no expectations. I don't have no curves.
You don't have no curves?
No.
Girl, you better be everything for the man that you requesting, child.
This is it. This is it.
We see you, honey. So, Kay, your last
Very
relationship was
average.
4 years ago, correct?
Very average for asking above average man. This is the thing, right? That people talk about. Average women are putting down average men. They are pretty much don't think that average men qualify for them. And they are average themselves. Some even below average. 6-figure currently. Men maybe make it about, I don't know, 10%, 15%, I think, maybe 10%, but low, very low. There's very, very few men in the whole scheme of things, right? In the whole population of the U.S. make 6 figures. So I think it's ridiculous that practically every woman always say, I want a 6-figure man. I want a 6-figure man. I want a 6-figure man. Although in reality, they may not get those men, but that shit that spreads around, right, is going to delude women and pretty much turn off men. It's going to hurt men, and then think like, forget about it. I'm done. All these women want 6-figure man. If I can't measure up, why am I even bothering, right? Why do I even bother?
Correct.
All right. Get back to the right for me, sweetheart. All right, there you go. You don't have to answer, but I'm going to ask, when's the last time you was intimate with someone?
Over a year ago.
Okay. What are 3 flaws you have to work on, Kay?
I am very impatient. I can be immature sometimes. And impatient, immature. Sometimes I have low self-esteem. Yeah.
Okay. And why would a guy be lucky to be with you?
I think that I'm a nurturer. I'm very loyal. When I'm in a relationship, I definitely take care of my man.
How are you loyal? What's proof that you're loyal? Unless all these men that you've been with, they left you, you're not loyal. Because it sounded like she left him.
I fix his bath water, I cook, massages, so it's a great experience to be with me.
Okay. What's the age range you would date?
30 to 50.
30 to 50. 30 to 50. Kay, Las Vegas, 40, is a Virgo, currently unemployed, has no kids. I can't remember this question. Could he have kids?
Yes.
He has
Yes.
kids. Okay. Do you want him to be in Vegas?
No, he does not have to be in Vegas. He can be anywhere. I'm open to all races, just don't have an accent.
Okay. If he's not in Vegas, is it his job to fly you to him?
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely. He's not getting on no flights unless you buy the plane ticket. Is it a first class ticket at that?
No, it doesn't have to be first class. I'm very down to earth. I just have these specifications, and it's the men that I've dated, they've treated me well, so I'm just used to that. But I'm very down to earth.
This is the problem with women, right? They've dated these men that supposedly fit their standards. But why does it never occur to these women that, one, it doesn't work out? If you dated exactly these men that fits your standards, right? Fits your preferences, and yet it don't work out, what does that say to you? You're 40 and you're still single. And you've been with these men already. I mean, what does that say? It says there's something wrong with you, right? That you don't qualify for these men for long, right? You don't fit with these men for long. And it's funny that women constantly think that these men are in abundance. There's always enough of these men around that would want you. This is the thing, right, where I think men need to increase their standards. But men just want sex at the end, right? A lot of men just want to have sex, so men would definitely lower their standards for sex.
I'm not looking for anything too extravagant. To me, these are basics.
Well, I think that sometimes this is like the trick, that can be tricky. Dated as in relationships or dated? Hello? Okay. I want to get your contact info. Okay?
Yeah, I lost you. Okay. So my IG is the letter K, the letter underscore naturally. Before that, like 2 or 3 years. So it's always been relationships. I can typically sometimes get a man. It's just hard maintaining that relationship sometimes because, I don't know, you get tired of the person or you just grow apart or you just don't want to go through those battles. And I think as I mature, I'm learning that everything's not going to be great always, and you just have to make it through those tough times. So.
And there you have it. There you have it. All right, Kay. Well, you keep me posted how it goes.
And this is the thing with women I'm just tired of. That they think that the men that they want are in abundance, and they're not. They think that they can ask for the exact same things when they were in their 30s, now that they're in their 40s. And they think that men will treat them the same. I'm telling you now, men that will get with her now will just see her as sex. That's just how I see it. Now, am I saying that things are impossible? No, of course not. But I do say that be realistic. You're average. Most women are average. So when you are asking for exceptional men, and the problem is she had these supposedly, exceptional men that make, these amount of money, that wanted to spoil her, wanted to provide for her, and she gave it up. So I think it's ridiculous. I don't know. It's crazy. But that's it. Yeah. What do you guys think? Yeah. Alright, so if you watched my other one, which is funny, right? I was reading the comments of the Kendra G show with this woman in, right? He said some crazy shit. That this woman was in divorce court. Right? She is talking a lot of crap. Let's check it out.
Because I thought I was marrying Mr. Right, but he turned out to be Mr. Wrong.
I would describe Kimberly as selfish, lazy, delusional and narcissistic.
The money has stopped, and the drama with his family has began.
Body
It's
types
just
seem
become
kind
horrible.
of same.
Kimberly's relationship with my family is so toxic that if it had a fume to it, then we would all have to clear the room right now.
I didn't marry his family, and he needs to stop them from interrupting our marriage.
In order for me to stay in this marriage, Kimberly would basically have to turn back time.
I feel that my relationship, it started as a love bomb, but now the affection and the attention has just completely disappeared.
This could be the one that she was talking about with her kids and family and stuff.
Gentlemen, I'm here today with Kimberly Tizeno.
Which was like unheard of for a guy from Vegas. So I was really, really liking it. After that, we went out continuously every day to casinos. We would do staycations in nice hotel rooms. It was like a fantasy. One day, he told me that I would be his wife, and I just kind of laughed it off like.
How long had you been together?
We had
when he
only been
said
dating
that?
for like 2 weeks at that point. And I was like, yeah, he's joking. But we continued seeing each other every single day, going out, just having lots and lots of fun. And then he brought it up again, and I told him that typically I don't date men with kids. He has 3 adult children. He told me,
This is that man. This is that man she was talking about. Oh, shit.
no problem, my children are adults, they don't really bother me, they live out of town, so you'll never have to have any interaction. I'm very selfish. I want my husband all for myself. That's why I
It's
married
nice
him.
to be self-aware. It really is. If you're selfish, you need to know.
Yeah, and I know that, and I told him, and he was like, he was okay with it. So after we went on dates, I really became really comfortable with him, and I saw myself wanting to be with him forever if that type of treatment would last. So when
This is the thing, right? This is the thing where we're talking about. Where she, like, I mean, no surprise that she said she wants to be a stay-at-home wife. This is the thing with women delusional, thinking like. And you know what? This is right. This is the fault of this beta male simp. You know. This is the problem, right? The problem that beta male simps will suffer right here.
So, Mr. Belcher, let me ask you this. So far, is she accurate with what she's told me?
For the most part, it wasn't every day. We were together every other day because she had to rest every other day.
She had to rest from the whining and dining?
From us spending time together, she had to rest every other day.
Now,
So-
you're a disabled vet. You could keep
Yes,
going,
ma'am.
but she had to rest.
well, that is true. I had to get my beauty rest on
I
some
have
days.
multiple sclerosis, and I require rest because of my disability.
MS, right.
But I can go twice as much as her any day.
Right, okay.
That's true.
Now what she said, like, see, that's what I'm saying. This is what, like, now it's clear on why she said, you know, don't have so much sex.
What did you see in her in 2 weeks that made you tell her, you're going to be my wife?
Judge told her she was so awesome in the beginning. She's a beautiful lady. We spent 4 hours just talking in the restaurant, and I mean it was some little silly things that happened. Like I didn't get a chance to change my pants before we came out, and I had on some sweatpants. So I changed my pants in the car while she was standing outside. I was like, if I would have known that things were going to go this well, I would strip at every first date. But
That was funny.
she just showed me so much attention. She showed me that she cared. You know, she was giving me everything that I needed. I don't know if it was because of me coming from an emotional place. I had just lost my youngest daughter in January. She was 17. She died from a rare blood disease.
I'm so very sorry.
Yeah, but she was filling the void that
You
I
had the
need-
right woman at the right time with the,
Exactly.
with the right amount of joy and love. You say that the moment he said I do, everything changed. What happened?
Everything changed. For me, the pivotal moment was, I'm now your wife. I need control. So I asked for his phone. I started going through his phone. I started seeing text messages from his daughter. She has kids, she has a baby daddy, but she's asking my husband for money on a regular basis. And not just small amounts, like anywhere from a couple hundreds to a couple thousands. And not only her, but also his ex-wife is also texting him and asking for money and messaging him on Facebook. And so when I confront him about this, he's like, this is my family. I have to have a relationship with my ex-wife in order to have a relationship with my adult kids, which I don't understand. And he was just like, it's not gonna change.
Let me ask you a question. You said, I am now your wife, so I need control. Did you have any inkling that he was doing anything wrong before you decided to go through his phone?
No, not really. I'm just a very
you
curious
just felt
person.
that was your right.
Yeah.
As wife. Mr. Belser, what is your take on what happened after you said I do?
I didn't really feel like, anything changed as far as what I was doing. The only difference was she saw texts of things that I was already doing before we got married.
And you stopped spending money on me as much. We stopped going out.
Did that? Why don't you tell me? You say the whining and dining stopped, the gambling. What happened?
So I put two and two together after reading those texts. I'm no longer getting as much because his daughter is asking for money, his ex-wife is asking for money, and that's taking money away from the household and me.
Mr. Belser, once you got married, did you stop whining and dining her?
No, ma'am. I have a totally different take on what happened.
Tell me.
Kimberly, after reading the text, like she said to you, she put two and two together. She has a tendency to jump to conclusions. Because I am disabled, because of all the things that I was doing, she would say stuff like, well, we need to put together a savings, and I don't want you doing this, and I don't want you doing that, because I feel like it may hurt you. And I said, you know what? Just be who you were when we met, and everything will be fine. You just stay the way you were. And it was more like her own concerns and her own jumping to conclusions that led her to believe that things had to change, and therefore she changed the way she was. I didn't change what I would do for her. Kimberly knows that I would give her anything if I could, but I didn't try to give her any less, and I wasn't giving her any less than she asked for.
But she found out you had more, so she was entitled. She felt entitled to that increase.
I don't really have a lot, Your Honor.
Yeah.
I'm just a very thrifty gentleman. I'm a U.S. Marine Corps veteran. So.
You don't work outside the home, correct?
That is correct.
And he says you didn't do anything in it. You say, however, that you weren't the domestic type, and you told him that up front. Why don't you tell me about the arguments you've had?
Look at that. She's not the domestic type. So, what does a provider get? He doesn't get cooking and cleaning.
Regarding your domesticity or lack thereof.
I told him from the beginning, first of all, there's a huge age difference. I am 33, he is 46. So he has the opportunity to marry a younger woman. I hope he didn't think that just came with no stipulations. I told him that I don't cook, I don't clean, and he was okay with that. He was like, that's fine. So I guess after we got married, he noticed that I really wasn't going to do it, and the house just got a little bad. So he suggested that one of his friends move in and do those things for us. And I was completely in agreement. I don't have to cook or clean, and she'll do it, sure. So she moves in, but little do I know, this friend who is only supposed to be cleaning and cooking, she's also trying to take my husband.
What was she doing?
I saw a text where she said, I love you. He didn't know I saw that. Also, one day they were in the kitchen and they didn't know I was there. She slapped him on the butt. I went back in the room and I didn't say anything. I didn't confront them there. I went back in the room and I asked him about it, and he said he didn't notice it, which I don't understand how he wouldn't feel this lady's hand slapping him on the butt.
I thought it was you because you were saying.
She's much bigger than me.
Now, Mr. Belser, what's your take on the
This is what I'm saying. Like, she is like, in my opinion, she's kind of below average, right? But for women, there's always going to be a man that will want you. If you're average, below average, whatever. For him, although he's below average himself, well, how did he get her? By indulging in her, I don't know, spoilage, right? He was maintaining her high maintenance. So he was providing for someone who he really got nothing for besides attention and maybe love. That's it. Besides attention and sex. That's what he got out from it, and wasn't even as often as he supposedly wanted. But that's what he got out. attention, and sex. Men are just. This is why it's sad that although he's 47 or 46, he seems so directionless. In the sense that you are a Marine Corps vet. You should have better standards of yourself. You should have a better grasp of value, right? I think he was in an emotional state and she came and filled that hole, but you should respect yourself more. If all you needed from a woman was sex and attention, what you're getting that's your fault. Because you didn't vet her well enough. Her personality, what she's going to provide for you, what is her value in your life? And this is the thing where men are being not guided. A man who's 46, he should have known these stuff, right? I'm not providing for someone, and I'm not getting anything out of it. This is the thing. It's not a one-way relationship.
You say she stopped. She stopped doing anything.
Well, what she started doing was harping on every negative thing that she could possibly do. One of her favorite sayings is, marriage is hard. And my answer to her is, when you take actions to make it hard, of course it's going to be hard.
Okay. The woman that you moved in is Robin Huff. She is here. So I would like to hear from her.
God, what is this man doing? He's going for below average women.
Ms. Huff, how are you?
Good.
Good. Now, I understand that you were Mr. Belser's caregiver before he got married. Is that correct?
Long before.
Long before he got married.
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Huff, what did you see of Ms. Tizino? What did you think of her?
She puts an entirely new meaning on the word lazy. Don't get out of bed before noon.
No.
She wouldn't lift a finger to do anything.
That's
she
what
never.
you're here for.
She never.
You're the man.
It's funny that you think 33 is all that young. I mean, I'm not saying it's old, but I wouldn't necessarily call that a spring chicken. But you know what? At the end of the day, I hold him entirely at fault. He chose this woman. He chose to marry this woman. He's the one who proposed to her. Right? He's the one who asked her out. That's why it's like,
Hey, I am not the maid. I'm the caregiver, his caregiver, not your
I've come to
personal
find that
servant.
out.
For him to be alone, but she didn't care. She let him go by himself because she wanted to sleep. That was more important to her than his safety.
Clearly, there is no love lost here. But I want to make sure there isn't anything inappropriate going on over here. So I want to talk about your true feelings for Mr. Belser and if things aren't a little more complicated than they appear.
So I'm not like her.
Do you feel you're after his needs, his physical and health needs? What do you have to say to that?
Well, with Willie, I always ask him before he goes or does anything if he's okay, if he needs my help. If he does not ask for it, then I assume that he does not need it. So I'm not like her. I don't have to try to earn his love. I'm not trying to get with him. I already have him. She's trying to get with him a bit. She just jumps at his every command, and I'm not going to do that.
Ms. Huff, let me ask you, and I want you to be honest. Do you have a thing for Mr. Belser? Would you like to replace her?
No.
You've never had a crush on him?
No, he is like a little brother to me.
So why'd you text him, I love you?
Because I love him like a brother.
Like a brother.
Yeah.
Oh, really.
Mr. Belser, I understand things got very contentious between these two and remain so. Is that accurate?
Yes, ma'am. No,
Why not ask Ms. Huff to leave because she is your wife?
That's funny. There was actually a large altercation between the two of them. They were using me as the middle guy
Right.
when something bothered each one of them. And I basically told them in a car one day, if you need to talk to her about something, you need to talk to her. If you need to talk to her, speaking to both of them.
Speak to each
don't
other,
don't
right.
put me in the middle. But they continued to put me in the middle for certain things. And there was a large altercation, verbal altercation between That when do you want me to go? But her and Kimberly were talking. I did say, Kimberly, now you realize if she leaves, then some of the duties that she's doing, you're going to have to take up the slack. And then she said, well, you have a good point. There's no need for her to go.
Yeah, if she can separate the two, cleaning, cooking, that is her duty, not trying to get with my husband. If she can distinguish between the two, we wouldn't have a problem.
I got it. I know what's happening. I understand as you leave from this 3-month marriage, you would like $3,000 in transitional support, and we will discuss that.
Do as much. I wasn't able to gamble as much because I just figured that we were having money issues. I told him I wanted to get a job, and he told me no. He wouldn't let me use the car to even attempt to go look for a job, so I'm left without any money. He canceled all my credit cards. He took me off of the bank account, so I'm pretty much destitute. So he needs to give me that money so that I can try to get a place, which in Vegas, a place is like $800 a month plus utilities.
Were you working when you met him?
Sometimes, yes.
Mr. Belcher, your response to that, did you actively preclude her from getting a job?
No, ma'am, this is taken out of perspective. What she does is she will apply and go to interviews, and she started 4 jobs since we've been together, and none of them lasted past the second day at lunchtime.
And why is that? Because every time
Because
I
you
start
want
a
to
job,
quit.
he says we have to go out of town somewhere. We've been to California, Cincinnati in like the last couple of weeks, so I couldn't work.
No, the job, you quit the jobs before the
trips.
traveling.
No,
Yeah.
he would always tell me that
Mr.
we
Belcher,
have.
are you done?
Judge told her, I love Kimberly to death, and if she could be the woman that I met in the beginning, I would spend the rest of my life with her. But she has a level of delusion and dysfunction that is beyond tolerable.
Right. So you're done.
Yes, ma'am.
That's game, and that's fun. Anybody can be delightful during the dating process. Anybody can be fun and light.
This is the problem, right? This is the problem with men like this. You don't vet women well. He was with her for, I don't know, a short period of time. I forgot how long. And he rushed marriage. But you know what? The problem is that he always saw her bad qualities and he ignored it. Because I think this type of man is probably a lonely man, right? You know, disabled, he's big, you know, nothing special looking, average in the face. Bank account is probably average too, you know. I mean, it seems like he does okay for himself. But this is the issue, right? That they just don't value themselves enough. Until things are heated contention where, you know, the pot has boiled over. But you could save yourself a whole lot of headache by having standards in yourself, right? Having respect for yourself, some values, and knowing like, okay, I want to provide for a woman, but wow, she's not cooking and cleaning, forget about that. She's not loving and supportive, forget about that. She's not caring, she's not loving, I mean, she's not fulfilling me sexually enough. She's already argumentative, she's masculine, she's all these things, right? Then don't do it. What a waste of time.
Hearted and free, but when you show up in the beginning of a relationship talking about what you're not going to do and let another woman in the house, all that kind of, that's who she is for real, and she wants the money and she wants the swag and she wants the fun, but offers you nothing. You're disabled and she's not helping you out, she's not caring for you. Let me tell you what. Delusional is an accurate term. If you think I'm going to let you come in here, your little sad admonishments about I'm not domestic notwithstanding, you showed up not a wife, you showed up with no heart, you showed up with no care, you showed up with no...
I may do more of this stuff, right? Because it's funny. But it's some craziness. Anyway, I think that's it. What do you guys think? The craziness. But that's it. Later, guys.